This is a Fox News alert. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons announcing he plans to leave the agency, writing that he will stay on until the end of May to help with the transition process. More on that in a moment. It hasn't stopped him from doing his job. And look at this. On Thursday, he revealed that ICE busted the largest gift card fraud scheme ever. And get this, the stolen money was being sent back to China. Watch.
The CCP is a huge threat, as well as their transnational criminal organizations that have come over here to just wreak havoc. And I'll give you an example. HSI actually broke the largest gift card fraud case ever. And it was from transnational gangs within the CCP that were sending that money back to military units in China. And that all came from gift card fraud here in the United States.
So we're literally funding our own adversaries through that.
We're just supplying small amounts, whether it be $20, $15, back to the People's Republic of China. And that was huge.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons joins me now. This is astonishing. So to the point of the Congresswoman questioning you there, this is taxpayer money going to China, and HSI, your department, figured this out.
It is, yeah, thanks for having me. And it's really to the credit of the HSI Baton Rouge, Louisiana office. You know, they worked with a lot of the large vendors who were just seeing a tremendous amount of fraud. And when you think about it, you know, $20, $25, it doesn't seem like a lot. But what we saw was, under the Biden administration, there was military-age Chinese males who came across the porous border. And these were the ones that HSI encountered. You know, going into a store, taking a gift card off, tampering with that, you know, barcode in the back. And we called it gift shaming because no one wants to say to their grandmother, hey, this gift card doesn't have the money on it, right? So no one really tackled it. But we saw billions of dollars of fraud, and it all can be linked back to the People's Republic of China.
Unbelievable. Director Lyons, I also want to ask you about a Hennepin County prosecutor. We hear a lot of demonizing of ICE, and now you have a Hennepin County prosecutor going after an ICE agent for drawing his weapon after he was blocked in by vehicles. Listen to what she said.
Is Hennepin County prepared to go head-to-head with the federal government?
We absolutely are. And I should say we were able to charge the case because we don't have those obstacles. We expect that once Mr. Morgan is in custody, that we start the process. We are investigating the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy and the shooting of Julio Sosa Solis. I do expect other charges at some point here.
Your response to this prosecutor who has quite a checkered past in her prosecutions?
Okay, I really can't talk about ongoing investigations, but I will tell you this is no public defender or no district attorney should be going head-to-head with the federal government. We should be working in partnership. ICE has always been transparent. We conduct our own investigations. The FBI conducts investigations. We work with state and locals. So this type of rhetoric is the reason why, to your point, ICE agents, deportation officers are demonized because of the fact that we have elected officials that just place targets on the back of the men and women of ICE and DHS, and it needs to stop.
And I understand you can't get ahead of that investigation. Here's another scenario that is just mind-boggling to me. This is taking place right here in New York City. 38-year-old man. We have his picture. His name's Roman Amatitla. This man set fire to a building in New York City, and according to the New York Post, he stayed in the immediate area to watch people burn and jump from the windows while sipping his beer in what was described as an act of mass murder. 4 people died, and Mamdani won't give this guy to you. What is going on?
No, and that's sad. You know, the fact that the district attorney is the one that labeled that crime as an act of mass murder and called this individual sinister. Here, you, like you said, you have someone drinking a beer, watching people jump out of a burning building. These are the public safety threats that ICE wants. And to use these type of heinous crimes that affect American citizens and legal immigrants all around the United States, and to use it as a political football is not public safety. You know, I ask all elected officials, please stop playing the games and give these dangerous criminals to us, because we have the evidence. We asked for this individual, and he was not turned over to us.
I mean, so what's the next step? He could be roaming the streets behind me if he's not given to federal custody?
Well, I'll tell you, the men and women of ICE, Homeland Security, investigations and enforcement rule operations, they're out there day, night, looking for these public safety threats. And we won't stop until we get them all, because we're keeping President Trump's promise to make America safe. And by making America safe is getting these dangerous criminals out of our neighborhood.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for trying to stop the next Laken Riley, Rachel Moore, and Jocelyn Nungaray. The list goes on. We have had a shakeup in California, as was just reporter Eric Swalwell out of the California race. But one of the leading Democrats is Tom Steyer. And I want to revisit his comments about the men and women of ICE that you lead. Listen to this.
I'm very straightforward about this. ICE should be abolished. You really can't reform an organization which is absolutely wrong and criminal from top to bottom.
He's calling your organization criminal. Your response to that?
It's disgusting. You know, this is my second time working for President Trump. I also worked for President Obama for 2 administrations. ICE is the same. ICE is a law enforcement organization, an elite law enforcement organization with true professionals that are out there every day taking public safety threats. And unfortunately, the state of California is riddled with public safety threats because they won't work with the federal government. They won't work with the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security. And unfortunately, this is, again, the type of rhetoric is the reason why ICE is demonized, called Nazis, and called for their arrest, because elected officials just use ICE as a political football.
And Director Lyons, you have done an extraordinary and elite job in your role. I know you're stepping away to spend some time with your family. Nothing more important than that. But I want to revisit your career. 20 years serving this country, leading ICE and part of that time. And here's your record. Just in the Trump administration, too, you were handed an open, porous border, criminals pouring across from Biden, 584,000 deportations. Job well done. And I want to thank you for that. A few moments just to reflect on your time in the Trump administration.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I tell you, I'm extremely humbled and proud to have started my law enforcement career with ICE and ended it leading the organization. Not too many people have that opportunity. Again, I took a lot of time in reflection and prayer. My sons are at a younger age where they're becoming young adults, and my wife and I just really want to spend time with them. And I'm happy where the agency is. You know, last year, I was thankful that President Trump had the confidence in me to lead this agency. Secretary Noem had the confidence to select me as the acting ICE director. Mr. Homan, Tom Homan, great friend and mentor, recommended me. Secretary Mullen, again, had confidence again. So I'm very happy to be at the forefront of the men and women of ICE who are out there. And I have to say, I did the job really for them. I took all the blows, took all the punches, so they didn't have to. I wanted to be their best champion, their best spokesman. But again, the other people I do it for, the Angel families. I've gotten so close with so many of them, Joe Abraham, Murray Maloney. They really suffered, and I really wanted to make sure no American family had to go through that again.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Thank you for taking that time away from your family. You've received nothing but words of praise from all the individuals you've named. Thank you so much, Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.